All right, so next up we have the relatively, decent recommendation of don't close your eyes. So if you close your eyes, it's very commonly said as a great way to wake yourself up out of the dream. And, I found that to be kind of true for myself. Before I was ever reading any of these lists or ever, you know, taking lucid dreaming seriously, as a practice or learning anything else about it from just my own personal shit, my own personal way to wake myself up out of a dream that I wanted to get out of, it was always to close my eyes, and I think this "and" is very important, which I'll explain later. Close my eyes and shake my head really hard. I've always found that that would break through to my real awake, like living head in the bed, and I'd wake up kind of doing that, and escaping whatever fucked up weird situation I might have been in. And so the reason why I think that "and" is important, close my eyes and shake my head really hard, is, in the Buddhist practice of dream yoga. So dream yoga can essentially be thought of as like lucid dreaming. That's basically being aware during the REM stage of sleep, right? But then there's also a deeper practice called sleep yoga, which, the way I've always heard it explained and the way I like to think about it in my own head at least is you also have stages 3 and 4 of sleep, which are considered like your deep dreamless sleep. You have the delta brainwaves going on there. It's like the slowest brainwaves of sleep, very often considered like the dreamless stage. And so sleep yoga can kind of be inserted in that stage, right? So dream yoga would be like being aware in stage 5 or REM. I don't think it's called like stage 5, but anyway, REM. And then you have stages 3 and 4, which is like the deep dreamless sleep, being aware in that stages. And so one of my favorite authors, basically the author who got me into taking this practice seriously, back in the day, is this guy Andrew Holacek. And so he's always described this sleep yoga stage as being something very, something very, very profound. And it's a goal of mine I've been trying to have since I started taking this practice seriously, back like 2013, 2014-ish. And shit, I've never gotten there yet in this whole time. Where I've gotten kind of close to it and had experiences that I thought were kind of near it and maybe were it, but from the way Andrew Holacek describes it, at least, it seems like it should be such a profound experience that I should know if I'm in there or not, and I'm honest enough with myself to, you know, to think or believe that if I didn't really know it was that experience or not, to kind of guess or assume that it probably wasn't that experience. So I bring that all up because one of the dream yoga, one of the Buddhist approaches to practicing for sleep yoga is to close your eyes in a lucid dream, in a REM style dream, and then to practice keeping your awareness intact through that stage, right? Where if you've set up this habit of simply closing your eyes to being your way of waking yourself up out of a lucid dream, that could become a really big roadblock when you're trying to work on this deeper Buddhist practice of sleep yoga, right? Which is something I've kind of ran into myself, even though I never thought of closing my eyes as being a direct way to wake myself up out of a dream. My old practice was always what I said earlier: close my eyes and shake my head really hard. So even though I had that different type of practice to wake myself out, it was still a big roadblock for me to work my way through. And even then, when I have tried to close my eyes in a lucid dream and stay in the dream, every time I've done it, so basically what you have to do is, what I do at least, is I put a lot of my awareness on different types of sensations. So normally dreams are super visual, right? So I'll really try to sink into like the physical feels of the dream, then close my eyes, try to keep my awareness on the physical sensations of the dream to keep me from waking up out of it. And really, but even when I do that, there is, if I don't wake up, there's always some kind of like visual element to it still. Even though I'm closing my eyes in dream, I don't see like, a regular waking world type scenery, but there will still be normally some type of, visual sense going on while I'm trying to sink into my physical sensations of it as well. So anyway, so closing your eyes, I mean, the recommendation to not close your eyes in dreams does have some solid ground to it. It can wake you up out of it, but if you get really attached to that anchor or to that approach to waking yourself out of dream, there can be deeper practices you come to later where that can actually cause a roadblock for you. So I would just say, take that recommendation with caution. But then again, it's also very important when you start exploring the dreamscape to have a nice, reliable way to wake yourself up out of it. So I guess my real recommendation here is if you want to practice waking yourself up out of a lucid dream, sure, it can be closing your eyes, but combine it with something else, such as close your eyes and shake your head really hard. At least that way you won't have such a big roadblock to work through if you want to take it up to this deeper practice of sleep yoga.